So you mean, are you?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Another great edition of our Virtual Happy Hour 3.0. It's a big honor, maybe the biggest honor ever in my life, to have Gabriela from Latam, Brazil, present you her country, Brazil. And yeah, Gabriela, the stage is yours. I'm already very eager to learn a little bit more about your country.
Thank you. Hola. See my screen?
You can start. Everybody is ready. People are all joining. We have, I think it's the first time we have, I think the biggest portion of attendees is Portuguese speaking. So we have 2 people from Portugal, you from Brazil, Erica from Brazil, 4 Portuguese speaking people. We have only 3 people from Germany speaking German, so you are the majority.
So you can speak in Portuguese.
É, vamos falar em português e vamos deixar eles entenderem o que nós estamos falando.
Boa.
No, if you talk in Portuguese, then we will continue in English talking about football and certain semifinals that occurred between Brazil and a European country.
And I'm going to explain later on the story of this German player, which was named Franco Foda. We can talk about later.
Okay. That's really bad.
But it's his real name. I will post his name in the speaker notes.
And we can also talk about cacao. Another German football player.
So, Gabriela, the stage is yours.
Can I
please
start?
Yes.
Well, okay. Thank you everyone for being here. It's a pleasure to talk about my country. My name, I'm gonna start here. Well, my name is Gabriela, but you can call me Gabi if you want. And I'm 32. I'm married for 13 years. I have 2 children named Laura, she's 13, and Leonardo, he's 10. Laura likes to cook, K-pop, music, and Leonardo also likes to cook, comic book stories, games, and pets. And, okay, if you want ask me something, please let me know. I will do my best to speak clearly, okay? But let's go. And I graduated in business administration a few years ago. My career started in a Brazilian airline named TAM Airlines, which after a merger with a Chilean airline became Latam Airlines, the largest airline in Latin America until now. And I have been working at Latam for 10 years. I worked in the operational control center as part of the crew team, worked in the planning and tracking phase, and now I am part of the project team. We are working in a huge technological and process transformation that includes all Latam subsidiaries. And in my free time, I love to gather family and friends for a good barbecue with caipirinha. That is a famous and typical Brazilian drink. And that's here.
Very good.
We will join you for the weekend. I hope you have free time on the weekend, and we will come and join you, and we expect barbecue and caipirinha.
Yeah. Well, cheers.
Very good.
Where's caipirinha?
You have one.
Yeah. I made with kiwi today, but after I will talk about caipirinha. And I also love CrossFit, gardening, watching series, and read. And that's it. Here you can see some photos, some pictures of my family. Let's start. Well, I would like to show you where Brazil is located. But first, let me ask you something, guys. Do you know what is the capital of Brazil?
Yeah, of course.
What it is?
Brazil.
It is the city where Daniel had a glass of wine with me.
No.
I was there last year, 29th and 30th of October. And what was the name of this very famous architect, Marco?
Oscar
Meyer. He was creating the city.
Oscar Niemann, I think.
Yeah,
Correct.
of course. Yeah.
Nice, Daniel. It's Brasilia. Brasilia is the capital of Brazil. My friends never get this. They all think it's Rio de Janeiro.
You need new friends then. I think you need new friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Brazil is a beautiful country located in South America and with an exciting culture and friendly people. We are the 5th largest territorial area in the world and the 60th largest population. The only country in Latin America that speaks Portuguese. The most neighboring countries speak Spanish. And except for Ecuador and Chile, the other South America countries border Brazil. And I prepare some places to show you, but let me see. Yeah, but I realized there are so much more beautiful destinations. If you are interested, you can Google and you will find a lot of options. And if I can help you, you can let me know. But let's talk about this one. The first one is São Paulo, this one. São Paulo is the main financial center of Brazil. And normally people visit São Paulo to do business and find excellent gastronomic options and cultural programs. And basically that's it, I think. And the next, Rio de Janeiro, is the most famous Brazilian city, beautiful natural landscapes, and this is where Carnival takes place. And this festival is considered the largest carnival in the world by the Book of Records. And I mean, we celebrate Carnival in all places here for like 5 consecutive days. But the Rio Carnival is the biggest of all. And the next is Amazonia. This region includes territories belonging to 9 countries, but 60% is in the Brazilian territory. Because of this place, Brazil is the country that has the greatest biodiversity of flora and fauna on the planet. Very, very beautiful.
And the owner of the river is Jeff Bezos?
I don't follow. Sorry, Daniel. And the next one, Cataratas do Iguaçu. This place was considered a World Heritage Site. I think it's like this, World Heritage Site. The falls are formed by the waters of the Iguaçu River, bordering Paraguay and Argentina. And you can also access it through the Brazilian or Argentine territory. There is a very beautiful nature there. And the next one that here is Fernando de Noronha. And a survey released by Fly Network, Canada's leading travel agency, named it on one of the beaches in this region as the 4th best beach in the world. One of the best places for diving in Brazil, diving to depths of 30 or 40 meters does not require a diving suit. Underwater, visibility can reach up to 50 meters. It's very beautiful and probably the most expensive, but it's worth.
Where is this?
And
How's this called?
sorry, I couldn't hear you.
How was it called again?
Fernando Noronha.
Fernando de Noronha. Yeah.
Thank you.
And the last one, name it Lençóis Maranhenses. Located in the state of Maranhão, this landscape can change according to the wind and rain in the region. So when you are there, it will be unique. It's very, very beautiful. And I really recommend you, if you ever visit Brazil, hire a local guide to improve your cultural experience here. I know there is a lot of natural beauty and perfect landscape, but also the meaning of those things and the history involving each place are very special and interesting to know. And I will give an example with a Brazilian legend, the Guaraná legend. Do you know Guaraná? Do you know what it is?
It's a great lemonade, and it's a bit like an how do you call it? It makes you awake, like caffeine, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it actually is a fruit, but we make soda and a lot of things with that fruit. I will send you a picture, and then I will tell you the legend. Let me try share here. I don't know, how can I send a picture? Well, just a minute. I will send you later, or I can share my screen. I'm gonna tell you the legend. Guaraná is a fruit original from Amazonia, but you can find it on Peru, Colombia, and Venezuela. And I'm going to show the picture after to tell you the legend. And an Indian couple who were unable to have children prayed to the god named Tupã for him to help them. The god granted the request to the couple, but after some years, the god of darkness named Jurupari was jealous and decided to kill the little Indian. Then he turned into a snake and stung the boy. Tupã tried to alert his parents through a storm, but they didn't arrive in time. So the Tupã god asked the parents to plant their son's eyes so that a plant will grow out of them, and the fruit of the plant should be given to people to eat in order to give them energy. And that happened. In the place where the eyes were planted, Guaraná was born, and a fruit that has the appearance of eyes. Let me try again to send you the picture. And I'm gonna try. Just a minute. I will share the picture just.
I can drop it in the chat window.
Okay. Aqui. Can you see?
Oh,
It's like an eye.
Okay.
So that kind of thing you can know through a local guide. So it's part of the travel experience here, you know. So it's why I really recommend you if you ever visit Brazil, to hire a guide.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
The presentation, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the next.
It's, by the way, the presentation with the most female attendees ever. So.
Nice. Thank you, girls.
Yeah. It's already preparation for the female panel we are planning for the Virtual Ops 2020. Awesome.
That's nice statistics.
Okay. Any questions until here?
No.
Next one. Brazilian economy was classified in 2017 as the 8th largest economy in the world, but has the characteristics of being concentrated in the country itself. So we were considered the second most closed country in the world for international trade. And we are the largest coffee producer in the last 150 years, but there are coffees that we export and it is not available to buy here. Very expensive coffees and the better coffees we export. And some of the main products we export are iron ore, cellulose, corn, and meat. I think the coffee is the 10th most exported. I'm not sure. This year, from January to April, the countries that most imported our products were China, United States, Netherlands, Argentina, and Singapore. And unfortunately, the number of unemployed people increased with each survey. Talking about the industry, Brazilian airlines wait for the loan that will be granted by the government and are discussing lays off and temporary wage reduction with the union. Latam already announced a 40% workforce reduction by the end of July. And for now, I'm surviving here. Let's see what is going on what is going to happen next month. But is everything okay?
I have a question here. It's interesting that you are mentioning that you are exporting cellulose. Are you also importing cellulite because you have a big plastic surgery industry? And I was just talking with a guy who explained me he had the same haircut like me, to Turkey because it's 2,000 euro compared to 7,000. So is it also pretty common that people from foreign countries are coming to Brazil to get larger boobs, better lips, and all that stuff?
Or you go to Turkey, which we also found out when you need additional hair.
Oh my God. I don't know.
Or is it only the Brazilians are doing it in the country and foreigners are not coming to Brazil because it's not more interesting or cheaper for them?
Yeah, I think I don't know how to answer.
What a question.
And we always ask interesting questions, of course.
Yes.
Maybe let's do a follow-up on this.
I will let you know.
And then we will elaborate on this.
Okay, that's okay. Well, next one. Brazilian culture. Well, probably I'm gonna miss something about Brazil and Brazilian culture because I realized there are a lot of things and there's no time to talk about everything. So I choose some interesting topics, right? And Brazilian culture is very social. We are warm and accepting, especially with foreigners. We are used to greeting people with kisses and hugs. It is very common here, but the pandemic has changed this behavior. And soccer and volleyball are the favorite sports of Brazilians.
But that's interesting with this kisses and hugs. Is this something which people can quickly change, or is it because it cannot be quickly changed? And let's say you say in Germany suddenly people have to kiss each other. It's not how we are somehow grown. We are more shaking hands, and you are educated of kissing, and now you should maybe rather not touch each other. Is this also a big challenge, or is it quickly from one day to the other, no kisses anymore?
No, it is a big challenge. Well, for now with the masks is easier because we remember that we are wearing masks. So
I'm sorry, Daniel, is a big challenge.
Yeah. No, but I remember for me that's always when I have to explain somebody about Brazil. For me, it's so common that also a man is always taking me in his arm and you nuddle and so on. I'm usually only doing this with Carlos.
Yeah,
we have a lot of pictures where we are kissing each other, but that's for me very typical for Brazil. So it's a very touchy, and that's why it's totally confirmed my perception of the country.
So
it's not only Brazil, it's Brazil and Portugal. That's I think this is an heritage thing, because in Portugal we kiss also everybody. And I have many, and I know from many people also in Europe, they say, why are you kissing everybody? I mean, it's something very, I said, yes, it's how we compliment everyone. So that's a common custom that we have. I think we also do the same here, and it's not in all Europe. Yeah.
But by playing football, I think I don't see Brazilians are warm and accepting. There I see a little bit different, I would say.
And you know what, Gabi's right. Because of the mask, we have this physical protection against kissing. But hugging is still a problem, because when you realize your arms are already there. So with my parents, for example, not now because I'm not seeing them, right? But I had an opportunity to meet when I went to the hospital to pick them. And we are using the elbows like this and this and the foot and the foot. I'm gonna run away from you, Daniel.
The best thing is I'm always teaching to use the Chinese greeting, which is right foot against right foot and left foot against left foot. That's a good exercise, because by using the elbow, you're always leaning in, and by using the feet, you're always leaning back. So that's what I'm always explaining people.
Yeah, it's a big challenge.
So between Carlos and Daniel, who is the better kisser then?
Now,
if on a scale from 0 to 10, how would you rate Daniel's kissing? Carlos? And then Daniel, how do you rate Carlos'
Marco, after these years with the good coaching, I know I am. Daniel don't look German when he kisses. And his wife tell me, it's the same. He changed, Daniel.
So Carlos, you're saying you changed the way Daniel kissed?
Yeah.
No, but
maybe you are.
I can also tell you,
you're the reason why his wife is still happy.
When I was kissing Carlos, he was not having a mustache. He was very.
Yeah, it's true.
That's why maybe his kissing style changed a bit.
Let's see what's happened the next time we see together. I think you like it.
Daniel, last time I was with you in Sao Paulo, I didn't see anything on that, but interesting.
Is Carlos from São Paulo, from Brazil?
I am from everywhere. No, I live in Lisbon.
Okay.
So we have to go to Lisbon then to see Daniel kissing Carlos. Okay, good to know.
No, man. We kiss from all Europe.
But Carlos, it would be great next time we kiss each other here on this rooftop bar in Sao Paulo.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, it's true. Let's do it.
Or that would help us
But
to
that-
stay by ourselves when we go to the bar we went to, Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Then we would have our freedom actually when you guys are doing that.
But wouldn't that be a bit considered a bit of waste of talent or opportunity? Well, anyway, that's.
And you can imagine after this long months without kissing Daniel, when you find a way, you can imagine.
Gabriela, please continue. I think now we want to talk about soccer and volleyball and basketball in Brazil. Maybe you elaborate a little bit on soccer. That is a very interesting topic.
Okay. Well, and so I already told you about the favorite sports. Brazilians' favorite sports are soccer and volleyball. Let me see here. Okay. And also basketball and Formula F1, Formula One. I don't know.
And beach ball. Beach ball, I think Brazil is also very good. Beach ball. Yeah.
Now the first is Portugal. Sorry, Daniel.
Yeah.
For what? For Formula One?
Ball. No, beach ball.
What?
We are the world champions and the European champions and in beach ball. Sorry, Daniel.
You have a beach in Portugal?
No, but we play in the river.
River ball.
Very good, very good. I didn't know that Portugal is really that good in beach ball. I didn't know that.
You can find in Google.
Wow.
And yeah, it's true.
Wow, good.
And well, and championships are currently paused, so we are getting used to watching past soccer matches, but only special victories because we don't like to remember dramatic matches. The most dramatic for me it was 2014. I told Daniel. Brazil 2014 World Cup against Germany, 7-1.
But Gabriela,
you know, my wife is not interested in soccer at all. And there was the first goal, second goal, and we were sitting on the couch, and there was the third goal and the fourth, and we thought it's a replay. We were not even realizing that it's real scoring. And my wife said, "What is this?" I said, "I don't know." Is it real? I said, "No, I don't know." So it was also for us totally striking. On the other hand, I can calm you. Germany lost 1970 against Italy 4-3. So we have also, and 78 against Austria in Cordoba. So I can totally feel with you how you felt. We have similar feelings when we are looking back on these games. But on the other hand, it's always a nice story to tell. And but I can tell you, when I was watching how the Brazilians were singing the national anthem, I was saying to my wife, they're singing too much. They're already losing all their power because there was la 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 la. Maybe next time when you play against Germany, don't sing too much. Keep the power on the field.
Yeah.
By the way,
I thought, oh my God, I need some water. I don't believe it. And when I came back, it's like 2 more goals.
Yeah.
Don't remember. And, oh my God, I don't believe it. But it's gone. It was very, very.
But I don't think you can call this match dramatic. Maybe it was.
Actually, it was very easy for Germany.
Maybe it was traumatic.
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, traumatic.
Traumatic. But not
That's
dramatic.
the word.
Best, the better. And okay, I'm gonna present you some of the popular Brazilian athletes.
Yeah.
But first, well, let me show you the pictures. And I want to. Do you know some of those athletes.
Marta, is it Marta? Marta, Pelé, Ayrton Senna, and yeah, this guy. But he is more an actor, not a real soccer player.
Yeah. Yeah. We know him, but well, he's not the.
He's putting more energy towards his head instead on the ball, Carlos, isn't it? It's a bit like Ronaldo.
He isn't our favorite.
He's the other Ronaldo. The other Ronaldo.
Yeah.
The fat Ronaldo.
He isn't our favorite, but he's popular. That's why I put him here. But he isn't my favorite athlete at all.
But the good player was the other Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo. He was a good striker.
Yeah. Which Ronaldo?
Yeah, the Brazilian Ronaldo, the one who was shooting against Germany 2002 and so on.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy, huh?
Yeah, one of the best. He plays in Barcelona.
And I also remember Socrates, for example, also great player.
This is the big team from Corinthians.
Of course.
Democracia Brasileira.
Yeah. He is, yeah. But I'm not a specialist in soccer, guys, but
neither is the rest of the country.
And I remember Ayrton Senna was such a great Formula One driver, and I remember I was in France when he had this crash in Imola, terrible, and it's really a pity that such great Formula One driver is not still there, because I think the Formula One was really losing a big role model.
It was the best.
Driving like it. Huh?
Yeah.
But they made a fantastic movie out of his life.
Yeah, in Netflix, I think.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, I would recommend it. It's very nice.
But very touching.
One player from basketball, it's Oscar. Oscar is a very great basketball player.
Yeah, but I choose Hortensia because Oscar is very famous.
No, of course. I'm a basketball player. That's why I know Oscar from the Olympic Games and stuff.
You mentioned Oscar when I met you, but I choose Hortensia. I think Brazilians consider her one of the greatest Brazilian female athletes of basketball. This one is Amanda Nunes. She is the first athlete in the history of Ultimate to defend 2 titles simultaneously.
Wow.
And you already know Pelé and Ayrton Senna and Neymar. But I put them here to illustrate it, that they are very popular here. So
Neymar is good to play beach ball.
Oh my God.
No. He would be very good to play in the women's team.
Yeah, too.
Let's talk about some food.
And to maybe play films, because it's good to when they touch the other players, and they roll all the time.
Fantastic, exactly.
Sorry, Gabriela.
No problem. Okay, traditional foods. This part was so difficult to me because every part of Brazil has very good options to eat, but I will mention just a little. The first one.
It's amazing that you have drinks as part of food. I like this very much. Usually you would say milk is my food, but I like the caipirinha and the cachaça. That's awesome.
Yeah. And the first one, it's like we have to drink during we eat, we like it. So it's the caipirinha is perfect for every time. And well, churrasco. We call it churrasco, but it's our barbecue. You can ask bem passado, like well done, or ao ponto is like medium, and mal passado it's like rare. And this one is we call cachaça. Is a famous drink made through the sugar cane. It is perfect to drink while we eat barbecue or a feijoada that I will mention.
Is this a good cachaça here?
Yeah, like, yeah, it is a good one.
Of course, I brought last time from Sao Paulo. Yeah, of course, I'm equipped.
I don't have cachaça here, but good. Thank you,
I'm
Daniel.
ready. I'm ready.
Nice. And this one is a caipirinha, a drink prepared with cachaça, white sugar, lemon, and ice.
Interesting. It's also interesting to know that the caipirinha in Germany is made of brown sugar, and you are using white sugar.
Yeah, always white sugar.
Yeah, we are using brown sugar.
Oh, I will try, but maybe
in Portugal is the same. We use brown sugar too.
Okay, here we use white. I will try it.
I think in Germany we just think that brown sugar is more natural and more authentic.
Yeah.
But maybe we're completely wrong with that.
Yeah. And you can replace the cachaça by using vodka or sake. It's very common here. We replace it.
And you have, of course, plenty of Japanese in Brazil, so that's why exactly. I see.
Yeah, yeah. And you can replace the lemon for another fruit. We frequently replace the lemon for strawberry. I like this one, kiwi. I don't know if it is the same name. I don't know how can I say, but I like this one. And you can.
By the way, that gives also a little bit an idea. We had this wine tasting, Marco and Christian. Why we are not making also a cocktail tasting? That everybody is making his national drink, and then we are sharing the recipe, and we are just having these cocktails together. So Erika, Gabriela have the Brazilian caipirinha, Carlos, Portuguese red wine or the Portuguese caipirinha. I'm using, I don't know.
What do we do in Germany? Asbach Cola.
I don't know. I don't know what you are drinking. Maybe you drink a beer. Kelvin, what are you drinking? You are drinking a whiskey in India?
It's hot water. It's just hot water.
Only water?
Yeah.
Usually, India is the highest whiskey consumption of the world, and you are drinking water.
Yeah. It's already a bit late, so it's better.
That's the first time that I'm hearing it's too late to have a drink. But okay, I'm still learning. Okay. Well, so what is the time window for having a drink in India? Is it between 7 and 9, or what is the window?
Something like that. 7 to 10.
No,
I don't drink. I don't drink so often. So
cheers.
It's hot.
Okay, good.
Yes.
That's good to know.
I would say that I never drink so much.
In our group,
we are the same, Kelvin. Don't worry.
Kelvin, you need to share your background
too.
Yeah, and the next is feijoada. This one, Brazilian national dish, very traditional on Wednesday and Saturday.
Only, not any other day of the week.
You can eat on the other days, but it is very traditional on Wednesday and Saturday.
Wow.
And
cool.
It is a kind of stew of beans with beef and pork. It's a delicious. It's very, very good.
I was reading that, for example, the Brazilian soccer players for my home team Hertha BSC, they were eating this almost every day and gaining a lot of weight because it has a lot of calories, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is good too for the gases, you know.
Oh
It
my
is
God.
it's very good. It's from
I don't know how can I
really
say that. Guys, can you help me? Eu gostaria de dizer que depois de comer uma feijoada, nós costumamos comer uma laranja para ajudar na digestão. Alguém
Daniel,
consegue me ajudar a dizer isso?
can you translate, please, Daniel?
Yeah, so she's saying that after you eat a feijoada, traditionally you eat together or after some orange.
And
Some
normal the
people
plate
say it's
normal,
because it's to help to digest, but in fact, the vitamin C in the orange helps you to get the vitamins from beans and the meat inside. So
And
it's
normal
quite common to eat.
The normal the feijoada, they have the some pieces of orange. It's true?
That not in the feijoada, but definitely in your plate, you're gonna have rice, feijoada,
Yeah.
and orange.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I have no idea how to say couve. Anyone know how to say couve? It's a vegetable grain, hard grain, that we are used to have together with the feijoada.
They understand couve.
You understand couve?
It's cabbage.
Thank you, Erica. Perfect.
You're drinking a coffee?
Yes, it's coffee time.
Yeah, but Gabi, you were having a caipirinha.
Yeah,
I don't understand this. Why you have a caipirinha and Eric has a coffee?
Because I have a meeting with my boss in 2 minutes. I cannot have caipirinha in 2 minutes.
Maybe the meeting is going much better with the caipirinha.
Probably.
I'm out of office today.
I think your boss should drink a caipirinha every now and then instead of this constant diet coke.
I'm gonna teach him to drink a caipirinha.
Yeah.
Be aware, you are on record, yeah. So.
Yeah. Guys, I'm telling in advance that in 1 minute I have to leave. Sorry, Gabi, but
thank you very much.
Thank you to share our country to these people.
Thank you. You're welcome. Well, then the last one is the famous rice with beans. We eat it almost every day. It's the common dish, the Brazilian dishes here. So almost every day we eat rice with beans.
But that means you have an issue with gas every day, isn't it?
No. If you eat an orange after that.
Maybe it's Petrobras and not Petrobras.
No. You know, you have to prepare the beans in the specific way to reduce that problem.
Okay, it's an anti-gas treatment. I see. Good.
Yeah, you have to prepare in a specific way, and you won't be a problem with gases.
Good. Okay. Good.
Okay. So, life during COVID. Well, is the last one, I guess. Brazil's situation has been made worse by a divided leadership. On the one hand, state governments and municipalities are trying to contain the spread of the virus by imposing preventive measures like social distance, wear masks, and quarantine, and increasing medical capacity. But on the other hand, Brazil is failing because of the poor leadership at the top. The president, he disagreed since the beginning of the crisis with quarantine measures, and he has a strong influence on part of the population. So every day he is on the news because of some political issue, but never related to some plan to contain the spread of the virus. And I don't want to stay focused on the bad things that our president have been doing. But if you can ask me if you have any questions. Anyway, probably you can see him on the news almost every day. And
I think
regarding
you're close to reach 1 million infections, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a clone president. I understand you, Gabriela.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And this week, some place like São Paulo started to open some business. Every state has its own plan, but here in São Paulo, we are looking for our hospital capacity. And if the number of cases and deaths are decreasing or stable. Brazil is one of the countries that least tests patients for coronavirus. And well, I hope our situation can be better in the coming months, you know, because I know a lot of people that was sick. I lost some friends, and people go out once the business are open. People go out and don't stay home.
So when you say you lost friends, they were dying from COVID-19?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because, but they, how can I say? One of them was diabetics. Had diabetics, and all of that, I don't know what is the name, but all of them had some issues, some health problems.
Yeah, some pre-sicknesses, yeah.
Risk people.
Yeah. And it was very sad.
But how is now the population somehow reacting on the behavior of the government? Because we are somehow observing what's going on in the USA. We are observing what's going on in Great Britain. So what is now the general perception of the Brazilian public on the government? Of course, there are some people who always support the government, but is there also the tendency to say, hey, something is not going like it should, and people go on the street and try to change something? Or is it everything is like it is, and okay, we have this government and nothing will change?
Yeah. No, the people are I think people are
very angry, I think.
Very hungry. Yeah. We are, and
sorry, Gabriel. You can imagine, Daniel. They don't have a health minister since a month.
A month.
In the middle of this crisis, it's really. Sorry, but I have family in Brazil, lots of family, and in the big, some they are the other side from the president, and the others they vote the president, and now after that it's impossible to believe in the words of this president, because I think it's crazy. Sorry, Gabriela, I think it's crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it's some months ago, after certainly numbers of death, a reporter asked him about the number of death, and he just asked, "What can I do? I cannot do anything."
It's interesting to see which countries have now the most problem, and it's USA, Brazil, Russia, Turkey is also becoming.
United States.
And Germany just dropped out of the top 10. We are now only 12th or 13th country anymore, which is good so far. You never know, second wave and so on. China is still somehow managing well. Of course, people will say all figures are fake and so on, but
and it's really complicated, because you see Sweden and they choose another way. They choose don't control the social distance and everything, and they have the same almost the same population from Portugal, and the numbers, they are completely different, really completely different.
Yeah.
I think the most important things: wash your hand, keep the distance, wear a face cover, but on the other hand, of course, you cannot always ask people to wash hands if there is no water. That may be an issue in countries, because you cannot wash your hands. What can you expect from people?
But this is one of the reasons it's really important to the governments. They help the people. They learn people. They send the positive message, not like this in Brazil or United States. Or that's it. This is the difference.
Yeah.
Christine, how is it in Canada? I think there's also a rivalry with the USA, but I'm not reading Canada is a mess like the US. Is this also because government is managing things very well?
Nothing is like the West.
This morning in the Australia presentation, I didn't say anything, but Justin, the fact that he was talking about the different states are all handling it differently. It's very much like that in Canada because each province has its own health minister, and my province, of whom I am completely ashamed, the health minister said he doesn't have to give the plan to the federal government, which is completely ludicrous. Quebec has always been proclaimed itself to be a distinct society, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but several times since 3 times since 1980, there's been a referendum vote to separate from the rest of Canada. So Quebec has always been a bit of a different story. We have the worst, the highest amount of infections, the highest amount of deaths, almost double what the next highest province, Ontario, is. It's not being handled well, and although Quebec is the one with the highest deaths and the highest infections, they actually sent a small percentage of the kids back to school last month and have opened most of the industries now. As of June 22nd, the last phase, I guess, were things like gymnasiums, dance studios. Those things are now going to be reopening. But individual municipalities are handling it differently. Like in Canada, during the summer, parents, there's daycare until the age of 5, but as of elementary school until high school, we use day camps. And a lot of the day camps in my area are not opening. Some are, some aren't. Some, those who are not, have chosen not to because it's going to be very difficult to manage the physical distancing, to handle the kids, things like that. And also, they would be able to accept fewer children. They'd need more monitors, so the cost would go up, and it's not rentable. It's not economical for them to do that. So it's not going well. They're trying to ramp up testing, but they don't seem to ever be getting to the level of testing on a daily basis that they want to. And oddly enough, our provincial leader, François Legault, who in my view is a racist, he wanted to pass a law last year which banned women from wearing face covers. Now we're telling the whole society to wear a face cover. So it's completely contradictory. It's quite funny, actually.
But so you tell me Québécois sont a little bit fou, huh? A little bit.
I will not say all of us. I'm of the Anglophone portion of society. There's the hardcore Quebecers who are one language, one province. We'll say those who live out in the country, like outside the municipality, the Greater Montreal area, which is one of the largest cities in Quebec. They tend to think differently than we do here.
You know probably that IBS was acquiring a company in Montreal.
Yeah.
So that's why we have also now this in our company. The special stance of thinking.
And maybe as part of the cocktail and the cooking stuff, we should have somebody from Quebec or from Montreal do the poutine.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Poutine is the best.
After we've had all the cocktails.
Yeah, but
because that's when you really when you get the munchies and you need it.
Canada, like Fatima is presenting Portugal, so maybe in this Canada presentation, maybe Christine, we are also covering this thing then, and if you need cooking help, I'm recommending you Christian, who is our chef d'oeuvre for the cooking.
I can provide a recipe for poutine for Christian and Marco to perhaps do at the same time.
Christian, are you still there? Christian, hello. Hello, Master Chef, hello. Are you still there? No, he's not there anymore.
I can stand in for him. That's okay.
It's cooking then.
Yeah, very good.
We're cooking. Absolutely.
So thank you very much, Gabriela. That was an awesome presentation. So you had some concerns or maybe, let's say, feelings before the presentation. Was it so mean, so difficult, or was it good for you?
It was particularly for me. It was difficult, but also all this problem to prepare this presentation could show me how proud I feel of my country. You know.
Awesome. That's exactly what we wanted to achieve with you, and I liked it very much. And
Thank you very much.
so hopefully next time when we're asking you to make a presentation for Brazil, you say, no problem, I do it.
Thank you very much.
And Gabriel, I had a question. How are your kids doing? And are they learning online? What are they doing?
Yeah, they are at home. They are having classes online, and there's no probably it won't return to classes this year. Probably it will be online until the end of this year.
Okay. So it's the same here. My kids are low classes, so they have only for what 1.5 hours a day, and two classes each, and that's how they learn at the moment in India.
And you know what? The glass is always half full, and every crisis is an opportunity. And there's so many terrible things that happened as part of COVID, but there's also so many good things that happened. And I think it's important to recognize those good things, or the things that you learn and the good things that you take away from this. And for me, one of the good things is to have been able to spend so much time with my family, to see that they are actually able to do homeschooling and then pick up homeschooling, to see that the society is changing. And the other positive thing for me is that by accident we invented, through this crisis, this format, and we've been able to connect to people near and very far, and we've been bonding, and we've been creating new friendships and relationships. And that's so the glass for me is half full, and we'll jointly ride through this.
I totally agree, because you see, we have Portugal, we have Germany, we have Brazil, we have Canada, we have India, Portugal, we have Germany. In one session, we are traveling across the globe. Today we had Australia with a guy from India who is a New Zealand guy, and from other countries. And that's where I'm saying everything has also a positive aspect, and that's what I'm really appreciating from COVID-19, because when we were said earlier, let's make a video conference, no, not possible, and blah, blah, blah. And now we do it. And on the other hand, it's such a power. And again, if you know somebody who is positive, upbeat, smart, and enthusiastic, spread the word. I know it's difficult to find these kind of people. Yeah?
And it could even be a pet.
It
could even be a pet, because those of you that follow us on LinkedIn,
we
now have a pig in the group.
We had a pig in our group, and it was smart, enthusiastic, upbeat, and positive. So if you have a dog, who's positive, smart, upbeat, and so on, you can bring the dog, no problem.
I brought my dog.
Okay.
And the bottle.
So Gabriela, you can bring your turtle next time if it's upbeat, smart.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Yeah.
And black beans.
But it's in hibernation now. It's like a winter here.
No, but Christine was showing us also her dogs last time. So
nice.
After today, though, I think you have to rename this to Virtual Silly Hour.
Virtual silly hour.
That's also, that might be an evolution. Virtual silly hour.
The 3.0 has become virtual silly hour. Yes.
I like it. Virtual silly hour, why not?
Gabriela, thank you very much for your presentation. It was very nice and we could understand more about your country. So I just wanted to share one thing that when this World Cup comes, Gold State, where I am from, will be either of in two colors. Either it will be blue or it will be yellow. So it's either Argentina fans or Brazil fans. It's always like that.
Okay.
Thank you, Anuha. It was very fun for me. Thank you.
You
Thank
did a
you.
great job, Gabriela.
Thank you. If you one day you want to come to Brazil, let me know. And
Absolutely. Would love to see the places. You have given the motivation and inspiration to visit there.
Next time, Gabi, we are going to have again this very nice Argentinian red wine like last time, huh? The Malbec. You remember when we were in the restaurant? We had the Malbec together with the team.
Yeah. I remember.
Which is, of course, for you difficult to digest because it's a wine from Argentina, but it's a good wine. So.
But it is a good wine. Malbec is always a good wine.
If it was Chilean, that's okay, but Argentinian, no. Nice. Thank you, guys. I have to go, but thank you very much. Thank you, Daniel, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Gabriela.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you
Bye,
very much.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye,
Hi,
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.